Holy shit, okay. Sorry, I just logged on to Patreon and saw a massive layout change, and I am kind of... I guess I won't care after I get used to it, but it was a really big change, and I was not a fan of no warning for that whatsoever. Okay. I had to go see which way the stream notice was facing last time. Let's see if I can say less stupid shit this stream, because the last one I said a lot of stupid shit. Okay. I do want to kind of draw Soggy for this one again. No, I'm not going to stop calling Saga Soggy at any point, so don't expect me to. I need to get references open. Just for a second here. Okay. Which way is... I just looked at it. Okay. If you're wondering what I'm typing in right now, it's actually get a load of this guy cam, because I need a reference apparently. I'm not good at drawing today or ever, but I'm trying to draw Saga with like a half transformed face. So for this stream, I actually did research prior and actually prepared and all that shit. Wrote notes for what I wanted to talk about and how I wanted to go about it. And my downfall there was that I there was like one bump in starting, so I had to like put off starting for originally probably what was supposed to be like 3 to 5 minutes, and then it ended up being like half an hour, and then the coffee that I had wore off. So we're just dealing with my mistakes for this one, as always. There's nothing special about this one. I've realized that, yeah, when I was smelling something really weird like burning plastic, uh, a few nights ago, that was just because I had like 4 cups of coffee in one day. And I'm realizing that now because I did the same thing today, and that's how I know the coffee wore off. Really interesting side effect, but I'm sure it's just all the blood vessels in my nose exploding or something. This is just a bad picture. I'm calling it right now. It's not even really halfway done, and it's bad. That's what it is. Everything I draw tonight is going to be bad. You know why it's going to be bad? Because my ADHD says so. No other reason. That's not something I need comfort for, by the way. I'm okay with being owned on the stream though. What I do sometimes when I'm having a bad day. Hold on, I'm gonna mute for a second actually. Okay. I heard kids, and then I was like, I should probably close my window. Something I learned since moving to Arizona, which has only been like a few weeks, is that apparently like public grills are very popular. You just bring your food and you bring your own charcoal and you use a grill that's just a fixture outside, and then you go the fuck home. So it's just somebody grilling outside with their kids. Anyway, what I was saying was sometimes when I'm having a bad day, I will do a focus stream with my wife and just bitch for the first 30 minutes, and then that usually helps me get on track. Because I guess I don't know any other way to vent my stress than by verbally acknowledging it. Still, it's a bad habit, allegedly. It sets a bad example. That mane is too big, and it looks fun though, so I'm just trying to not fix it. It's really not working for me. Oh right, I need to draw the other ear. I guess I'm just, in the background, I'm just gonna draw Felix like on fire or something. Why not? That's my default for there's a problem is just like somebody's on fire, I guess. I'm pretty sure I got that one from my ex though, because they would say, I just woke up and everything's on fire, which is honestly very memorable. I've seen a surprising amount of people use the public grills. There's actually one in our apartment complex right outside our door, and then more in the parks. Like there's a park, I don't know, within 500 feet of the of our complex. And I don't have a huge affinity for grilling myself, so I was surprised to see multiple people using it so frequently. Trying to draw Felix on their knees here, and they're really just ending up looking like a combustion. And I might just cheat and move them low enough that it like makes visual sense for them to not be completely drawn. This is up for debate. Can Saga, can Sagi breathe fire as a dragon? Because I already remember that Diesel can. But only one of Diesel's heads can. Playing fast and loose with the markings here. Here's a hot tip. Fire is brighter the more energy that there is, so it's darker on the outside. If you know that fire is red, orange, and yellow, the darkest color there, which is red, goes on the outside. All right, that's probably good enough. I'm going to put this on Patreon. First, I'm going to date it. And then get started. I actually made a list, which is really, I've realized I've already hyped it up to sound more impressive than it is, but it's impressive for me. I set the bar extra low just to make sure. Essentially, almost anything I do is impressive. I'm thinking that I'm going to go ahead and open up the last stream's image after I finish uploading the notice so that I can kind of pick up where I left off. And I did decide to pick up the last stream because I said I was going to experiment a little with development, and I don't feel like I developed the story a whole lot. I kind of went over like leading myself through the process of just figuring out what I didn't like about Felix's story, and I didn't get to fixing any of it. So I'm gonna try doing that this time. And basically the reason that I'm gonna open up the thing is because the last thing that I put was that you should probably head over and like look into some tropes if you feel stuck for ideas about how to make a plot that encompasses it's really hard to talk and type at the same time, I'm realizing, but a plot that encompasses what you want to do. Tropes aren't inherently bad. Some of them are, but tropes as a concept aren't inherently bad. They're tools. So all right, that's that. I kind of felt like I didn't finish typing everything I usually do, and I realized that it's just the new layout making me feel like something's off. So, let me save this real quick. And then open up that file. So I actually did bother doing the research and not just fucking reading TV tropes while streaming. So there's that. Show me the money. Where is this file? You wouldn't think that it would be that far off. I know that you all can't. I don't think you guys can see what I'm seeing while I'm looking for this file. I'm not good at keeping my files organized. I had to have saved it, right? I'm pretty sure I remember calling back on just to do that to make sure I didn't lose it. Okay, I accidentally saved it in Google Drive instead of on my desktop. I don't like saving things on Google Drive because if I'm trying to save like very frequently and I end up saving okay, now I don't even know where that went because okay. I end up saving a lot, and if Google Drive happens to be trying to synchronize all of the files again, which is like a very frequent silent process that it does, and I try to save while it's doing that, it can corrupt a file permanently. And I learned that the hard way. Had a big string of files that had deadlines and I couldn't finish them on time because I kept corrupting them. Okay, I'm just going to look at the steps again real quick. So step one was the goal of the story. One thing, I also have my list here still. So making a story. Step one, think of what you want to say, I guess. And think about like, why do you want to say it? Why do you feel like it's not common sense? What are you contributing? Or at least, how are you saying this in your own way? Because I don't want to frame it like you have to be productive when you tell a story. I know I kind of personally don't value entertainment writing, which is maybe just my journalism side showing, but I know that it's important to a lot of people, and I can respect that. Writing does have a purpose when even when it's just entertainment, because enjoying time by just killing it is part of the human experience. So, step two is like, what makes it hard to what can make it a problem, and that problem is going to be central to what's happening in the plot. Step three is the ending, which is kind of like how you answer that problem, how it all gets tied up and there's no question anymore. Step four is what's supposed to actually happen. So once you know what you want to do and you have like, I don't know, the skeletons of characters, you gotta think about how you're gonna literally tell it. And then step five is how are you going to literally tell it in a continuous way that makes a story and not just a string of ideas, I guess. A string of ideas or facts. Obviously, like me listing off canon traits or events for a character versus drawing a comic is different. And I would say this is what step five is like the difference between the concept of a story and making like a palpable skeleton. So I did actually go to TV Tropes, and let me make my canvas a little bigger here. One thing that I noticed while I was looking at TV tropes, and I'll kind of get to it as I'm drawing. Okay, a Fawlty Towers plot is basically you start out with one lie. The protagonist usually lies about something. I want to say mostly because they don't want to say the truth, not necessarily lying out of malice, but more out of cowardice. And then because that avoidance is still driving it, the plot is mostly trying to continue the lie by making other lies. Which is hard to differentiate between the other one. But actually, I'm gonna. I don't know who to draw for a character to bounce off of Felix, so I'm going to find the sketch comic where one of Felix's roommates is real quick. If I'm understanding the difference between a snowball lie plot and a Fawlty Towers lie plot, is that a snowball lie ends up usually dragging in other characters in like either being lied to or included in the lie. Pierre, please don't drink paint water. At least not without microwaving some ramen in it first. Okay. I have found this stupid fucking roommate. I guess it's irritating when I want to draw something that like I already explained verbally just for the sake of being visually interesting, but I'll live. Sorry for anybody who finds that annoying. We're doing the chibis again, though. What I actually wanted to do with this stream that is different from the last one is I wanted to focus on the characters because I already kind of figured out a way to spin what I wanted to do into a plot that actually probably isn't going to be a snowball lie. And what I was going to illustrate after this is while I was looking at tropes and kind of spitballing ideas, is that I kept running into the thought, no, that's too close to drawing a blank because Otis and Felix are similar characters, and I think, well, especially with the whole lying aspect, but I will save getting into that until afterwards. Let me close this. So, I it's still possible to do like a lying plot like that, but I'm thinking some other things now. I love drawing dot eyes like this. Extremely fucked up. Hold on, I'm gonna actually... Pierre, you just made me realize something. There we go. I want to draw him in his cap this time, so it's a little different. This is like the butterfly effect. Except he's just a fly and not a butterfly. Oh god, what's that called? Pay or quit, there we go. What if Felix's two roommates are named Drake and Josh? Because I'm trying to think of a name for the other roommate, the third roommate. Okay, so these are the two kinds of main plots. The third thing uh, that I wrote down was maintain the lie, which is I don't think a trope I need to also illustrate because it's literally just like it's the trope necessary to facilitate both of these two plots. I will say real quick as a note, why would you have two tropes that are so similar? Because one of them facilitates drama more than the other one does. God. No, actually, Felix's other roommate was going to be a rat. I originally made one roommate a housefly because we had flies in the apartment that just would not leave no matter how long you left the window open. And I was like, well, I guess this is just my roommate now. So obviously the other one will be a rat. I have to go pee, so I will be right back.